Public participation in the controversial Affordable Housing Bill entered its 10th day, with the Law Society of Kenya unmasking flaws in the proposed law that may hinder its implementation. Vincent Ombaka, a legislative drafter at LSK, questioned whether the Joint National Assembly Finance and Housing Committees had attempted to address glaring provisions that were declared unconstitutional by the court, saying that the matter of how the tax would be administered needed to be reviewed. Most of those who appeared before the committee also proposed that the 10% advance payment required for one to own a house be reviewed. As Chemutai Goin now reports, groups of persons with disabilities and residents of informal settlements, however, backed the affordable housing plan.
As the public participation exercise on the Affordable Housing Bill enters its penultimate period, members of the public thronged Parliament buildings to give their views to the Joint Committees of Finance and Housing.
They've said they want to be sure that the houses are not being bought by just the mighty and the rich, and that is why the proposal of one KRA pin, one house has come up.
Groups of persons with disabilities were the first to make their submissions. The groups came from parts of Langata, Mathare, Mukuru, among others, and rallied behind the plan, but called for a review of some of the financial obligations.
Ningeomba ya kwamba katika hii deposit 10% CPWDs tukepewa 3 to 5%. It means that mwenye atakuwa na 3% ni mwenye akona ile nyumba ya rumu moja. 4% mwenye atakuwa na rumu ya rumu mbili. That is na then 5% mwenye atakuwa amefikisha apewe 3 bedroom.
Unajua inauma sana kupata mtu wa slum ni kama amebandikangwa lazima akaange kwa slum milele. And then wakati inafika mahali pa kusaidia mtu wa slum inakuwa ndio kuna kikwazo. Lakini wakati hizi vitu zingine zao zikipitishwa wao wajalingi inakuanga ni sawa. Kwetu ikifika lazima tuandamane.
I stay in Mathare. I cannot have 3 meals in a day. If I take tea, I don't take lunch. Now I'm told to look for 360,000 before I'm allocated. Aren't you driving us away from this project?
Hii pesa wanasanya kwetu ile tunalipa 3,000 kwa mwezi. Kama mtu ako na nyumba 5,000. Wewe unafikiria amepata pesa ngapi? Anaenda kufanya project zake. Sasa ndiye anapinga, anajua hii ikienda through hawatapata hiyo pesa.
The committee learned that there were more legal hurdles yet to be cleared.
The problem is building houses on public land that are going to be owned by someone, because at that point you are disposing public land. The design of the affordable housing, even the cost, does not factor the cost of land. The problem there is, whatever mechanism we use, how do we make sure the value of land, we don't take public money into somebody's pockets unconstitutionally? That is the principle.
The issue of public land is very, very critical. It's very, very critical. Because if this land would have built a primary school and doesn't build a school, it goes to build people's houses, then even what benefit should accrue to the community that have forfeited the need for that public utility that would have had to all benefit, as opposed to benefiting only 200 Kenyans.
With the court having declared the financing element of the affordable housing scheme unconstitutional, LSK also sought to know whether the committees had reviewed the discriminatory section of the law that only targeted the salaried population.
Employees are saying, if I am employed, I have no option. It is obligatory because you have mandated my employer to remit my contribution. But if I am self-employed, I choose when, how, and even where to pay.
The Architectural Society also appeared before the committee, proposing a review of the sizes of the houses based on location, as needs differed, and for an inclusion of professional players in the construction industry in yet-to-be-formed Affordable Housing Board.
It is critical to have members of the board who hail from this industry so that they can properly lead the board, because they have a concrete understanding of the nature of the built environment and how to run these projects, including financing of these projects.
The State Department for Housing will appear before the Joint Committees Wednesday to shed light on emerging concerns over the technicalities surrounding housing projects that were to be funded by the World Bank but were constructed by counties. The public participation exercise continues Tuesday. Chemutai Goin, Citizen.